Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. In today's episode of Home Buying Tips, you'll learn how to win a bidding war when buying a house. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. Okay, team, let's take a look at this. Whenever the market gets into a strong seller's market position, as a lot of people are currently facing in 2018 right now across the United States, there are 5 things that you can do that can help you game the odds and game the system, so to speak, and win a house bidding war. But it's also important to note what you might be giving up as far as your best interest is concerned along the way. So I'm going to give you 5 tips of how to win a house bidding war with some things to think about and make sure that you're making the right decision for you and yours. Okay, so the first thing is to make sure that you have your loan pre-approval done up front. So in other words, get those finances in order up front. You want to make sure that if you're going to be competing with all cash offers or other buyers that have taken the extra step to make sure that they're pre-approved before they're making an offer, that you get that done now, because you want to be competitive. First of all, you should never ever look, and I'm just going to tell you right now up front, you should never even look at one single home without having a loan pre-approval letter. Because how would you feel if you got there to that house, you fell in love with it, you told the agent you want to write an offer, and you can't because you don't have a loan pre-approval letter? Defeated the whole entire purpose, isn't it? Should go back to a buyer consultation meeting to go over the home buying process and review the current market trends and conditions and offer strategies. That's a side note. So when we're talking about lining up your financing, if any lender does not verify your income, your assets, credit, and employment verification, you don't have a loan pre-approval. To do that, you need to submit your last 2 years tax returns, your W-2s, 2 months bank statements, 1 month pay stubs, okay? At a minimum, along with your ID card and social security card. That's a minimum, right? That will get the process started. And when you hear things on television and on the radio, oh, get a pre-approval in as little as 8 minutes or less, it's just not the case. You can begin an application in 8 minutes or less, most definitely. That's easy. Anybody can begin an application. Anyone can say, hey, you're pre-qualified for $500,000, but then when the verification comes, like, oh, so actually we checked your stuff, and after we took into consideration what's called debt to income ratios, you're only good for $350,000. That would be pretty devastating if you had your mind, eye, and heart set on a $500,000 house, wouldn't it? So to go the extra length of getting the pre-approval to make sure that you're ready to go whenever you submit your offer so you can win that bidding war. The second thing is to make your most competitive offer up front. And I'm not saying that as a trusted real estate advisor, I'm saying it as your friend. And the reason being is this, is because if you make your most competitive offer up front, when that house gets other offers, a lot of sellers, believe it or not, do not enjoy bidding wars. They would prefer a strong offer made up front showing your true intent right out of the gate. So then go ahead and say, okay, buyer 1, 2, 3, on to 75, or however many offers I got on the house, right? Made these kind of offers. Well, I don't want to counter all those offers as a seller, right? That's what they're going to tell the agent. I don't want to counter all these offers. Who has the strongest offer that's most agreeable to my situation and offer me the terms that I'm looking for? That's what is going through the seller's mind. So going through your mind as a buyer is, how much are you willing to pay for that house? Okay. Now, even if you're willing to give the seller a list price, I want you to do this, and I want you to do this 100% of the time, every time. Ask your trusted real estate advisor to perform a comparative market analysis on that property. Here's why. And when you're determining how much to offer on a property, even in a strong seller's market, it does you zero good to offer a list price if that home won't appraise for that amount. Because if you're financing that home, you will have an appraisal, and you cannot get more home loan than the appraised value of that home. So what does that mean? If you're buying a $500,000 house, right, and let's say that house is listed at $500,000, but the appraisal comes back at $450,000. If you waive your appraisal contingency or your financing contingency, what have you, you're on the hook for $50,000 to buy that house. I hope you got it. Because what will happen is you'll either lose your earnest money deposit in backing out of that contract, or you're going to agree to pay $50,000 above if the seller won't renegotiate down. Now, that is something that I want you to know as well. I have had a lot of our fellow teammates on this channel make comments, oh, Andrew, I didn't know that you could renegotiate after a low appraisal. Absolutely, 110% you can. There's 3 outcomes of that. Either the seller drops the price to the appraised value, which is the right thing to do, or you come out of pocket the difference of what the appraised value is and the amount that you offer them in your purchase agreement, or you guys split hairs. And I do see splitting hairs is pretty common, saying, oh, okay, I got excited, made you an offer of $500,000. You got, you accepted it because you thought you were going to get $500,000. You come down 25K, I come up 25K. We'll just call it a day. And the reason being is that normally, obviously, if you offer that kind of money in the house, you really enjoyed it. But I just want you to be prepared for that. And whenever your agent provides you with those comparative market analysis, along with, so they're essentially called comps for short in real estate verbiage, right? You should ask your trusted real estate advisor about submitting them directly to the listing agent along with your offer and some of these other tips that we're going to review in today's video, okay? The reason being is then the seller will see it, then the agent will see it, and they'll know that you're not trying to lowball them, you're just trying to offer them a fair market value range. If at the same time that you want to pay above a certain amount of dollars out of pocket, then make sure that your agent writes that into the contract. It would look something like, if it's a $500,000 house, I'm offering you $500,000, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I'm willing to pay up to $25,000 above and beyond a possible low appraised value, not to exceed the purchase price or the offer price of the house. Okay, then everybody knows up front what the game plan is, and if the seller accepts your offer, they know how much money you're willing to pay out of pocket above and beyond a possible low appraised value. Okay, but by knowing what those comparative market analyses look like, then your trusted real estate advisor, and more importantly you, can make the right decision for you, because only you can make that decision and what you're willing to do. That brings us to the third point, which is minimizing contingencies. There's a lot of different contingencies that go in the contracts. You have financing contingencies, inspection contingencies, appraisal contingencies. There's so many different things that can go into it. So some people would say, oh, to win the bidding war, you should drop all the contingencies. No, as a trusted real estate advisor, I'm going to tell you, no, don't do that. I'm definitely a firm believer in protecting my client's best interest, and in doing so, I'm a firm believer in the home inspection, the appraisal, and the financing contingencies. I'm a believer in all of them. Now, if you start making up contingencies that are just crazy or asinine or going way above and beyond, maybe like 7 days or 10 days buyer due diligence is common in your market, and you're talking about, oh, I want a 35-day due diligence period and we'll close on the 36th day. No, that ain't going to fly. That ain't cool. Nobody does it. Highly unlikely anybody does it. Let me rephrase. It is a big world, right? At the same time, be prepared to minimize contingencies if you can. If the seller wants a quick close and you're able to provide it, after talking with your trusted real estate advisor and your local loan officer, go ahead and give it to them. If they want a condensed amount of due diligence, okay, that means that you need to have a real estate agent and yourself that can move very, very swiftly through that period, knock out that home inspection, get that home appraisal ordered, negotiate those repairs as needed in a repair request after you get the home inspection back, right? Something to think about, something to consider. You can make or break it, but use common sense and listen to your gut, because if it feels right, it is right. If it doesn't feel right, it no ain't getting any better. So listen to that gut of yours, and if it feels right, it is right. Just remember that. If it feels right, it is right, okay? So then the fourth thing is be available to your agent. I mean, sounds like a no-brainer, right? But hopefully, on the onset of you and your trusted real estate advisor getting to know each other, you guys set a time to meet up at the office and review your buyer disclosures, sign a buyer-broker agreement, and review the market trends and conditions. During that time, you would have obviously shared what's most important to you about the home buying process, what you're looking for in your new home, and come up with a game plan to find your new home. By having strong, open, and honest communication, you guys will be accessible to each other and always, always, always be 100% honest with each other. Look, if you have a loan, I saw this in a comment, or maybe it was an email that one of our communities sent to me recently, and I won't name names on it, but I thought it was a great question, and it just kind of concerned me actually whenever I read the message from one of our teammates here. They said, well, Andrew, if I have a loan pre-approval at $500,000, should I tell my agent I'm only good for $400,000? I was thinking to myself, that's pretty scary to me, because the reason that they were asking that question was from a position of fear, which is just false evidence appearing real, right? But they were asking it from a position of genuine concern and saying, well, maybe I don't want to spend $500,000 if I think I can find what I want at $400,000. Look, no trusted real estate advisor is ever going to put you into a position that says, oh, just because you can spend $500,000, you should. whenever a trusted real estate advisor looks after your best interest. That's where the difference comes in working with a top agent that's looking out and representing your best interest. You can absolutely be approved for $1 million. And if you want to look at $400,000 homes, okay, look at $400,000 homes. At the end of the day, you're living there. And at the end of the day, you should be comfortable with your agent. If for some reason you don't feel like you can trust your agent, don't work with that agent. Find a trusted real estate advisor. Again, you need help with that, let me know. But keep your open and honest and strong communication, and always be accessible to your agent, and your agent should always be accessible to you. Should always be following up with you as quickly as possible, okay? If they don't take the call or answer the text immediately. The fifth thing and the last point of this video today is writing a love letter about the property to the sellers. And what does this love letter look like? This love letter might look like a family picture, okay? It might have commentary in the love letter about why that home would be good for you and your family and what your plans are for the home. We look forward to raising our children in here. We're about to have a baby. This is the right school district. It's close to our job. We can envision our family going on walks nearby a park that may be nearby. You know, the shopping is convenient. There's a lot of different things. So that you might even want to consider taking and upping the ante a little bit here. When you go see the house, you might just have your family photo taken right in front of the house, so that maybe it resonates a little bit more with the seller whenever they receive your offer and they are reviewing what makes your offer different. It really can mean a lot, and sellers oftentimes will appreciate a personal touch. It helps them know more about who you are, and a lot of people, especially if the home is extremely well maintained and been renovated by that seller, will want somebody in that house that's going to care for it and love it the same way that they did or more. So it's something to think about, something to consider. Now, this has been a video with 5 tips of how to win a bidding war. Tell me what the one tip was that you took the most from in this episode in the comment section below, along with any of your other savvy winning a bidding war tips in the comment section below, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is on the screen and down below. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. And please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help, because right now, I'm sure that you can think of just one other person in a position that could really use this information. Share it with them, please. Thank you. And as always, in between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching, team. Make it a great day.